Hi, I'm Michael Patton, here today to talk about environmental shopping. You can be a green grocer. I think that we all have to shop at the grocery store at some point in our life, and these choices are very personal and sometimes very expensive, but sometimes you can be a better shopper by knowing it's not only the product, the price, but also the origin, where it came from, what I do with it, the storage, sustainability. All these are decisions. I believe every dollar you spend can be a vote for something. Why not vote for the environment? So today we're going to go through the store and talk about certain items and what's the best way to buy them in terms of recyclability, sustainability, energy use, all these factors, and of course price. So today we're going to become green grocers and environmentalists at the same time. So join us as we go aisle by aisle through Reasons. This is brought to you today by the Oklahoma Recycling Association, Chickasaw Nation. I'm happy to do this tour. I hope you find it informative. Hi, you are what you eat. I eat a lot of nuts. So here we show the bulk aisle. So you can buy just the amount you need. If you have a party, if you make your own trail mix by putting different nuts and items together, you can buy just the ingredients you want. I love the bulk aisle. They used to be very prominent in our grocery stores. The health department and people and everything else made them very, very difficult. But you can buy just the size you want. If you only want 3/4 of a pound and not a half a pound or a full pound, you can buy what you like. They have choices here at Reasons. They have containers that are already pre-measured, and they have bags that are resealable as well. So you have three good choices. Bring your own, buy what you need, or buy pre-packaged in different ways with minimal packaging overall. Nuts are a great choice for us, healthy-wise, and more importantly, here you can do them with almost no waste at all. Let's talk about bread. Give us our daily bread. You know, bread makes you happy, so if you find someone sad, don't buy them coffee or a drink. Give them a bagel. How about some toast? So the bread aisle has lots of opportunities here. We have lots of stuff that says organic. We have genetically modified. We have gluten-free. We have all kinds of choices in the bread aisle. What's the most important way? Well, the brand you like is important. There's a few things, however, you can think about when you buy your bread. First of all, bread now has expiration dates. They didn't used to have that, but now they'll have an expiration date. It used to be you could tell by the actual twist tie. The different colors meant what day it came in. It was in alphabetical order, so blue was on Monday. Blue, green, red, yellow, white was each day of the week the bread came in. So you could actually look at this and see, oh, that's Monday's bread, not Tuesday's bread. That's not the case anymore. Now they've gone to a simple stamp that shows the expiration date. But it's important to believe that you do this. There are things that they have that make the difference. This brand in particular has a sustainably baked bread. So OKRA Wheat actually buys energy from windmill farms as part of their energy consumption. So they can say, we actually bake the bread using sustainable energy as well, which I really like the little message there. So you too can make that message by simply contacting your power company, and they probably have a choice where you can pay a little bit more to support green energy. The other thing about bread aisle is the country of origin, the state of origin for it. It's difficult to find that, but there are local bakeries in every community. So I always recommend buy from the local community. If you're buying from here, however, look and see. OKRA Wheats, these particular brands, Sara Lee, are made from Bimbo. Most of these are made here in Oklahoma. In fact, a lot of this is made in Tulsa and in Muskogee, the bakeries here. Other ones, for example, Nature Zone is based in Texas. So that's still pretty close from here. But you have a choice of buying Oklahoma bread, Texas bread. I choose Oklahoma. Texas is beneath me. It's a geographic joke. Aren't you glad we're going to talk orange juice right now? So orange juice is fairly simple, but it's actually one of the places you can make a real difference in terms of recycling, packaging, and overall waste in your life. So there are three ways to buy orange juice. You can see the carton, the jug, and an aisle over here, the frozen. Which is the best choice to buy orange juice? Well, it depends what kind of person you are. If you buy the frozen orange juice, that's less square inches of packaging per use. That's the best choice. Always remember that. How much package do I need for every time I use this product? Frozen's best. We have pitchers at home. If you don't have a pitcher at home, maybe it's best to buy a jug you can reuse as well. So of these two choices, the carton is the worst choice. It is almost completely unrecyclable and unreusable. So it comes with wax, paper, a plastic, and actually two kinds of plastic. The liner inside is a different kind. Multi-material means probably non-recyclable. Mono-material, one item, like this undyed HDPE, means it's probably recyclable. So these are great choices. These are very recyclable, they're very usable. This is not. So don't buy the carton. Either buy the frozen or buy the jug. One more thing to look at is country of origin. It says a lot of these, you think, oh, it's only Florida orange juice. Read closely, it's not always Florida orange juice. And most of the orange juices from America come from Brazil and US. But some of these flavors, if you read closely, are Brazil, Costa Rica, it's very, very common. Mexico, all have oranges that make it into over here. So just because you said it's Florida doesn't mean, read the label. Read the label, you can see the origin. So chances are your orange juice are coming from Brazil, Costa Rica, and maybe Florida. There are 7 true polymers of plastic found in the grocery store. So 1 through 6 have a certain type, 7's miscellaneous. But the plastic code matters. In essence, think about it this way. Number 1 plastic, number 2 plastic, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all melt at different temperature points. That indices of the temperature means it's hard to make into a new product. If you're going to recycle, you need the same type of plastic. 1s and 2s represent about 85% of the plastic in the store aisles. So everything you find here, 1s and 2s, there are certain products that don't come in 1 and 2. They only come in 4 or 5. A good example of that is the yogurt containers. Yogurt containers, because of the need for them to be flexible, hold dairy products, constantly be refrigerated. Number 5 works better for that product, but it doesn't mean it's almost impossible to recycle. There are some communities that say it's recyclable, but very few in America. Recycling rates for plastic bottles range from 28% to 31% based on either PET number 1, like pop bottles, PET number 2, like milk jugs, or PET number 2 colored, which is like a soap bottle. Those we have between 27 and 31% recycling rates. Number 5 plastics are less than 2%. 1.6% of all plastics that are not 1s and 2s get recycled, compared to almost 20 times that rate for 1s and 2s. So you have a choice at the store, try to find the plastics that work. You don't have a choice in yogurt very often, so my idea would be, rather than buy the single containers, buy the large ones. You still can buy yogurt in glass jars. Buy it yourself in a bulk container, and then you have a recyclable container that you can take small portions from rather than individual sized portions. Let's talk milk. Let's talk dairy. Smell my dairy air. So here you show different things here that have examples. The actual milk jug is a high density polyethylene, number 2 plastic. It was invented in Oklahoma. Bartlesville, Phillips Plastic, after the war, was looking for new products for the things they were producing, and they thought, oh, well, we can make this product. And it turns out to be a great product for the store. It's excellent to use for milk and other similar items. It's natural, so it can be dyed into a new product as well. But the very fact that it means, and it was invented in Oklahoma, means it's a good choice. You have a choice of a carton, or you have a choice of a jug. The jug is reusable, made in Oklahoma, and recyclable. The carton is not. The best choice by far. We have different types of milks. There's actually some controversy about, should milk from nuts be called milk? Should be called some other product? We are very clear about orange. Orange juice, orange aid, orange drink are very clear about the percentages. We don't have that milk. So there's been talk about, should soy or almond or things be called milk, or some other product there. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, soy milk, I think, is Spanish for I am milk. That's not a terrible joke. So you have to use that one. But overall, these are fine choices. We are one of the few species that drink milk from another animal. Don't say me wrong, my cat will drink milk from my cow as well. But overall, the choice you have for milk is probably more of wasteful than packaging. A lot of us let the expiration date go. Milk is one of those products that only has a couple of weeks at very most. So check the expiration date on your milk. Buy the one that, so you don't waste milk at all. We're excited to talk about eggs right now. So eggs are fairly simple. You can buy them from local farmers markets. I don't buy mine from the grocery store because I have a friend who has chickens and I help get their eggs from them. The packaging does matter on eggs, however. You'll see this store has mostly styrofoam packaging. The polystyrene, it does a good job of what it does. It protects the egg, it keeps it cold, it keeps it hot. Styrofoam, polystyrene is a fine product. However, for the environment, it's a very poor product. A piece of styrofoam the size of a dime will kill a bird or a fish. If you have styrofoam in your life, make sure you handle it responsibly. I would put styrofoam inside a plastic bag in my trash before I just threw it in there. It might blow out the back of the truck, so make sure it's taken care of. You do have a recycled paperboard option here. You can have a carton made from recycled paper. This store has very few of those for the options, but look for the stores there, and if you have those, they all can be reused. I even have some styrofoam containers I had from long ago that I've used for starters for seeds. It's a perfect little thing to put 12 little starter seed kits. Whatever you have, reduce, reuse, recycle is the right order. Do I need it? If not, can I reduce my waste? If I have it, can I reuse it? If I haven't and can't reuse it, then I should try to recycle it. So egg cartons are one of those things that are probably hard to recycle, but easy to reuse. But more importantly, you can buy the right kind and reduce your waste overall. Hi, welcome to the cereal aisle. I love this area. This is probably the prettiest part of the entire store. It's the art gallery of the grocery. So if you'll notice that all the boxes here look very similar. It's a bowl of their product in milk being splashed around with some sort of funny animal there. It's because the box is what sells the cereal here. Used to be we could buy boxes of cereal or bags of cereal in the store, but Americans stopped buying bags. We were literally selling 200 boxes for every bag. So stores like this have stopped carrying the bags. Why carry something people don't want? But it's silly. We have a bag and a box here. Why have the box? It's not for storage, even though these do store on the shelf well. It's because we buy cereal based on the picture. We buy on the brand. We buy on the logo. Ask a kid to come over here. He'll find the exact one that has the tiger or the frog or whatever he wants to have for his cereal type. Good success, however, in cereal. One thing I don't complain about the boxes here, even though it's extra packaging, is the cereal companies were very responsive. In fact, in the entire grocery store, by far the strongest supporters of recycling were the grocery companies. General Mills, Kellogg's went out of their way to find them. So if you look at the bottom of the box, you'll see this logo, 100% recycled paperboard. That means not only is this box recyclable, it's been recycled once. It's recycled. So every box is 100% made. Used to be you could find the box and look on the inside, it was white on the inside. Now they're a gray or a beige inside. It's a recycled content. Again, recycling is not touching the food, it's in a bag. But the box itself, because cereal boxes have so much, they actually help produce a better price for recycling companies. Post-consumer recycling means it's been done once. It means it's been to my home and now it's somewhere else to be recycled. It wasn't just leftover mill scrap. It was post-consumer, from my home to recycling center to recycling manufacturer. Well, paperboard not only here is made from recycled content, but the post-consumer amounts from some of the companies, General Mills and Kellogg's, are over 80%. So they're trying to get 100%. So every part of this box has been something else before, had a different life before. So feel good about reading the cereal box. The cereal box is actually one of the best success stories in recycling in America. We're talking storage now. We all have reasons to have sometimes harsh chemicals in our life, drain cleaners, high phosphate detergents. But how do we handle these products after we use them, what we do with them? So one of the largest examples and ways a home can become dangerous is through chemicals, open bottles under the sink. Where do you think childhood poisons come from? Open bottles. So the key is when you have bottles like this, and pay attention, where they sell the drain cleaners and these kind of products, they also sell the gloves to protect you. So you want to read on the back and make sure with every kind of chemical like this, you read the back labels. There are 3 words to look for: danger, caution, warning. Danger means a very small amount will kill you. Caution means a bigger amount will kill you, and warning means it will probably make you sick, if not kill you as well. So, but look for those ideas and find them. The best you can do with packages like this is to make sure you use it up. If you've taken this drain cleaner, and this is professional strength drain cleaner, we can't have normal strength anymore. Someday we're going to have nuclear Drano and liquid plumber. So we always make it stronger and stronger. Do you know you can make a cleaning product for drains with baking soda, vinegar, and hot water? A cup of baking soda, pour down the drain, a cup of vinegar. It will start to boil and crazy and eat that hair up with that chemical reaction. And then 5 minutes later, flush it down with a bunch of hot water. It works really, really well. You can have a safer alternative to the cleaning product. Try those first. If those don't work, then go out and look for one of these. But if you buy a product like this, the most important thing is the package and the product are both can be dangerous for you. So make sure you handle it properly. Wear gloves, read the labels, but also if you open this bottle and use half a bottle, don't put half a bottle into your sink. Instead, clean some other drains. Go next door, go to mom's house, clean her drains. Storing chemicals under a sink, open bottles containers, make our homes less safe. Home, our neighborhood, and our planet less safe. Use the right thing, use it up. Buy the product if you need it, only if you need it, and then make sure you use it up. Laundry and cleaning are all important to us now, especially these times where we make sure everything's disinfected properly. So how you clean your products and the products you use matter to us. This is a great selection. Researchers did a good job of showing the different products, and they really go out of their way to have environmentally sensitive products as well. But be careful. Read the labels and look for greenwashing ideas. So you can see here we have even some of these 7th generations a great product. They make great paper products as well. So 7th generation, that everything they do should be thought about how it affects 7 generations from now. It's a Chief Seneca quote I really love. So but EcoCover is another good brand. Myers, you can see all these. They have lots of different ones. Organics, they have phosphate-frees or low phosphates. A variety of different products here that are made. Some of these are fairly effective. Some aren't as effective as some of the name brands you have. Your choices again come in boxes, jugs, concentrates. Here you have a good choice to buy concentrates. Think about that. Why have a package that has only 20 wash loads when I get a package of smaller concentrates, a smaller amount, that has 100 wash loads? Smaller square inches of packaging matters. So look for concentrates, look for products, again, read the labels, store them properly. I'm not as concerned with cleaning products as I am with like pesticides, drain cleaners, stored in the home. But again, use the amount of product, pay attention to the labels, and pay attention to how you store the product. Paper towels are a staple of our lives. You know, you could use cloth napkins. Cloth napkins add a touch of elegance even to a lunch meal. But if you have a reason to have paper towels, how you buy them, where they come from matters. So you'll see a variety of options here. Some that call themselves quicker picker-uppers, some that are, but the key is when you buy them, look first of all for the value. So on every pack of toilet paper or paper towels, you'll see the square inches of packaging overall. So look and see how much paper towels in there, how tight do they wind the rolls, all that matters. You can't just simply look and think, oh, that's the same paper towel as this paper towel. So look for the amount of square inches of packaging, but also it's hard to tell two things about paper towels. The paper towel and tissue companies have been very sensitive about recycled content on their labeling. For some reason, people feel anxious about a paper towel or a tissue product touching their butt, touching their hands that was made from recycled. So the paper, tissue, and paper towel companies have in essence not said they're made from recycled content, and some of them are 100%. Other companies would gladly in the store aisle say, oh, look at recycled paperboard cereal box. Not so much here. They're just concerned with public perceptions of that. So recycled or virgin is hard to tell. I particularly know these, however, because they're made mostly locally or made around the state of Oklahoma. Bounty products and all are made from virgin paper. So the plants here, there's a plant in Jinx, Oklahoma, that's made from virgin paper. They do a fine job, great jobs, excellent product. They make sure they're very responsible, but again, it's virgin paper. They're killing trees to make paper towels and tissue paper, unlike the one down here. Brawny paper towels are actually made in Muskogee, Oklahoma by the Georgia Pacific plant. So they don't say they're recycled content, but every single piece of paper went in that plant. The largest employer in Muskogee, Oklahoma, a paper recycling company making paper towels, 100% everything comes in there. They buy paper from 48 states in America because Oklahomans don't recycle enough to go make their paper towels. So when I buy Brawny, I know it's made in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I know it's jobs for me and jobs made for recycling. So I always choose this brand versus other brands, no matter the price. Every dollar you spend is a vote for something. I'm voting for Muskogee jobs, I'm voting for recycling when I buy Brawny paper towels. Americans waste 30 to 40% of the food they buy. It is seasonal. Thanksgiving is the most wasteful day of the year for food. We think nothing of throwing away, all this extra, oh, have extras. But we don't need to waste this much food. And one of the key is how we store leftovers. If you store them properly, they have a chance to be used again and again and again. So proper storage containers really matter. So I really believe in having constant, even in my office I have for leftover, but having good reusable containers that allows you to make sure you don't spoil the food. Some people say you shouldn't store in plastic containers. I'm fine with storing in plastic. I'm just not fine with freezing or heating in plastic. So these don't belong in the microwave or the freezer for as far as some say freezer are safe for there. I'm skeptical. Some things can be leached out through either heating or freezing properties. So I try to store, if I'm going to store long-term in freezer, in a Pyrex or a glass container. But by all means, these are excellent choices. Always have them available. We can cut down the food waste we have by planning from the very beginning to make sure we store it, not only cook it, serve it, but store it properly as well. Plastic bags, how we handle the waste, even how we can transport recyclables can matter. In Tulsa, we don't want you to store your recyclables in plastic bottles. If you have a plastic bag that stores your recyclables, that plastic bag can cause problems for the sorting operation. Mr. Murph, the bags get caught in the rollers and such. So recyclables should not be stored in plastic bags, but trash should be. But plastic bags have really made a lot of changes lately. They are thinner, easier, better handles, better wraps. We don't have simple just a bag anymore. We have a bag that comes with good twist ties and good ties that tie it down. But they also sometimes are made from recycled content, but none of the major brands are doing that right now. But there are real claims on environmental packaging. For example, this small product here is called Full Circle, earth-friendly, biodegradable in landfills. This is the wrong message. We used to call things biodegradable. We thought, oh, how important that would be. If you're on the mountain and you're littering, biodegradability is important, not in the landfill. If anything, biodegradable in the landfill means it turns into the liquid, which means it might get into the groundwater. It might cause problems. It might have the methane gas issue we have to deal with. We do not want things to biodegrade in landfills. We want them to stay inert. It's a bathtub, stay there when things biodegrade. So most companies would never say this. This company, for some reason, thinks it's important to say how much their plastic bag falls apart. If this was in nature, on top of the mountain, as litter, yes, biodegradability. In a landfill, the exact wrong approach. So all the other companies have taken off that claim. It's not important. In fact, it's almost detrimental to environmental claims, not this company. Don't buy this product. We need water in our lives. Water is life, you might say, but how much do we buy it, and where do we buy it, and how we get it to our homes can be a difference in the environment. So many people like to have a distilled water or a bottle of water to use. They want to have water for cooking, even for cleaning products. There are other choices. You can buy a good filter for your home. The filter could be on the faucet or in the entire home as well. But look at the overall price you're paying for this and the amount of waste. Drinking water that costs $1 a gallon tap water in America costs between $3 and $5 for 1,000 gallons of water. So are you willing to pay 5,000 times the price for this convenience of this water? Maybe you should try to find a better filter or find ways to handle water for yourself. Water is interesting. We can only make it so safe, and then after that it's up to you. It's like police protection. We can't have a cop at every home, but we can make it safe enough that we can afford to have. And if you want more, buy a dog, buy a gun, buy a security guard. Same with water. We can make it so clean. Tulsa's water in particular has won national awards for how clean it is. We're very lucky that it comes from a good source. We have high-end treatment plants, and the city has invested in good quality treatment. So we have great quality water. I have no problem drinking Tulsa's tap water, but if you want to do something special, if you're making homemade beer or something you want special water for, filter it first, have a different way, or buy this particular one. But at what price point? And this is $1 for a gallon. Think about the half a liter bottle that's $1 or $2. I went to a baseball game and paid $6 for a bottle of water. $6 for a bottle that's an eighth of a gallon, that's $48 a gallon versus 1,000 gallons for $3 in Tulsa. It's not worth it to me, so I'd rather use that. Reduce, reuse, recycle is the right order. You can reduce by not buying this jug. If you do have it, you can recycle this or reuse this easily and recycle. They're 100% recyclable. But more importantly, can you reduce by finding a way to use the tap water in your home or find ways to reuse those things to make a difference? Buy a filter, economically and environmentally sensitive and smart. I think bottled water is probably the worst packaging invented in my lifetime. We didn't have these 20 years ago. Now the average Oklahoman will buy 340 bottles of water per year, almost one per day per Oklahoman. Of those, less than 20% are recycled in Oklahoma. In fact, people say we're probably close to 15% recycling rates for water bottles. So why do you do this? Why have these? Well, I used to be totally opposed to them. Then my kids started playing sports, and it was every once in a while a water bottle made sense. I can reuse the water bottles, but water bottles even themselves have changed in past years. Used to be the water bottle weight, now they're called lightweighted. They're thinner and thinner walls, which means there's less and less packaging, but they become almost unreusable again. So I like Dasani water because they have not lightweighted the bottle, and I can reuse their containers. So I make an energy drink with a powder and tap water to reuse Dasani waters. Dasani bottles are made in Oklahoma. Aquafina is made in Oklahoma. These are Pepsi and Coke products. These are made from the local bottling companies in Muskogee, in Tulsa. So these are locally produced water. Not the case with Fiji. Fiji water is from Fiji. Fiji is 3,000 miles from Oklahoma. I did the math, figured it out. Think about the amount of pollution it takes to get that water bottle onto a boat or a plane, onto a train, onto a truck, into the store, into your home. The amount of waste overall, the amount of pollution that comes from Fiji water. It's got to be pretty good water. I find it hard to believe. I feel you could probably take 10 bottles of water, champagne glasses, try them all without labels, and have people pick their favorite. They would not pick Fiji versus the others. They may have a certain mineral flavor they like, but overall I think this is pretty smart. If you're going to buy a bottle of water, try to buy a bottle you can reuse or find ways to do that, and try to buy a local produced water bottle. Local matters even with water. Cookies, crackers, chips, my favorite three things in life probably, especially cookies. I would be a Chippendale dancer, but I'm a Chips Ahoy dancer. I'll do anything for cookies. But the amount of packaging overall for chips, crackers, and cookies dramatically differs. Why? because of our consumerness. We will have no problem eating half a chip. Potato chips in this package is one of the very best packages in the store shelf. It's hard to reseal. It's easy to retie, however, with a twist tie, but a half a chip is just a half a chip. But for some reason, a half a cracker or a half a cookie, oh, those aren't for me, those are for the dog. They're not good enough. So we have insisted with our personal habits, insisting that our cookies not be broken. So look at the packaging on these. By the time you take the cookies out of the package, it's equal. It's about the same amount of packaging as there is cookies. Every single cookie has its own little sleeve, its own little thing to make sure we protect them. The amount of plastic and air and everything else in this package is outrageous. So we need, as a society, think, how can we have simple cookies? You'll notice these vanilla wafers aren't that way. We have no problem with a vanilla wafer, the chip on the corner broken off or something. We have no problem. But for these, we have to have them. Even worse for crackers. So Girl Scout cookies, because they're handled by so many different, the Troop Master, the Girl Scouts, everything else and stuff, I can see the need for packaging for them, not these. So try to buy the cookies that come with minimal yourself, or of course make your own cookies going forward. I do love chips, I do love crackers. The choice of difference is simply the packaging. I don't see any reason why we couldn't have the same kind of crackers put besides our habits of being afraid for broken ones. So feel free to embrace the broken crackers and broken cookies in your life and enjoy them. They taste the same. Lots of choices in the soft drink aisle. Glass bottles, aluminum cans, plastic bottles, they're all found. They all can be good choices, and in fact, they're all recyclable. Glass bottles are probably the most recyclable item of the three in terms of it's difficult for some communities to recycle glass, but glass is actually a very fine product. It's made from sand. It doesn't hurt anything. I mean, it can cut you, but sand in the landfill, sand in our recycling systems. I've used glass bottles to make I've made a French drain with glass bottles once where I crushed them up. I needed some material to put together. We built a recycling center on Sheridan using glass bottles in with the gravel, kind of a hamburger helper approach for the road base. Easy to reuse, great in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is very, very lucky to have glass plants. We don't have a deposit law here like Iowa does, but about half of the glass from Iowa comes to Oklahoma to be recycled in Oklahoma jobs. So we make money on it by people recycling glass around the country. We don't do a good job ourselves. The weight of glass, however, makes it hard to ship. In the beverage industry, there are really two costs. Brand loyalty, why do I pick Pepsi versus Coke? And then distribution costs. The glass bottles required more trucks, more employees, harder to get into the shelves. So in the last 20 years, we've been transitioning away from glass bottles. We still are snobs about wine and beer with glass, but we're not that way on soft drinks anymore. For a long time we were, but we've got over that now. Now there are fine choices and all reusable, all recyclable. The aluminum can is a great success story. Aluminum cans are recyclable forever and ever and ever. So the aluminum cans that you recycle are back on the store shelf in less than 6 weeks. So 40 days or so. By the time you take it and put it in your recycling bin, it gets to the processing place, made into a bale. That bale is shipped, a whole truckload of bales, to a company that then melts them down, makes new cans. How does that happen that fast? It's because the aluminum can industry has been great recyclers from the very beginning. We save steel cans, we save aluminum cans for a long time. They've invested in the infrastructure, they have a good price point. It's a valuable commodity people want to have. Only about 1 out of 4 Americans recycle regularly every single day of their lives. And they say that's about 50% of all cans get recycled through recyclers, but there's another 10%, about 10% of the American population don't recycle anything but their aluminum cans because of the price point. So it's very recyclable and valuable, and your aluminum can revenue helps support recycling programs everywhere else. Your recycling company might lose money on glass bottles. They make their aluminum cans, so make sure you give them the cans as well. We can talk about recycling here on this aisle. So vegetable cans, soup cans, bean cans, they're all excellent choices for the environment. First of all, storage. Cans can be stored for a long period of time, a couple of years sometimes, easily without any kind of degradation of the food product inside. So they're easy to store, easy to transport, and they keep the product pretty well. Tin cans are really steel cans with a thin line of tin around them. Tin is just a single, about 1% a liner to keep it from rusting the can itself. So tin cans is really their steel cans. The way to tell a steel can is a simple magnet. Bring a refrigerator magnet with you to the store. If it sticks to a magnet, it's recyclable. It's easy and it's made of steel. Some cans in the store are not made from steel, they're made from a bimetal. You can find those especially in pet food cans. Those are hard to recycle, they're not quite the same. In Tulsa's case, Tulsa burns its trash, and the steel cans get recycled automatically through the trash. They have a magnet that runs over the ashes, and the cans fly up out of the ash and stick to the magnet and get recycled. So in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you don't have to recycle your cans to make sure they get recycled, and that burning burns out the overall the food waste, the label, anything else in the product there. So steel cans are the most recyclable item in the grocery store for a good reason. They're easy to recycle, they're easy to reuse again, and they've been made in the product over and over and over again. So choose steel. Another invention they've seen recently in the last 15 years ago has been the single serve ones. So I'm single opening containers for steel cans, which I really like. The lid, however, generally is not made from steel, so the lid should not be recycled. The can itself is. It's a different product here, a slight bimetal. People handle it and flexibility from there. So throw away the lid, put the can either in the trash or recycling bin. Either way, it's a good recycled choice. Condiment aisles are a great opportunity to really talk about types of plastics. So most of the mustards and ketchups are a type 1 plastic. That's a very simple polyethylene terephthalate. It's easy to recycle, very recyclable in America, a recycling rate of 31%. Number 7 plastics, number 5 plastics are less than 2%. So why would we look here? How do we find out which plastic it is? We look on the bottom of the container for a recycling logo and a number inside. It's very difficult to find on a small bottle, but this is the number 1 plastic. Most of them here are number 1s. But if we look closely at all the different ones, the same brand sometimes in a different package might be a different one. Like this one is a number 7 package. So almost impossible to recycle in America. Some communities have it, but really not anywhere. It's just considered trash. The same brand, different size. Obviously, I would choose the more recyclable packaging. My dollar does make a difference how I spend it. So avoid the packaging. When you go to the store, turn the bottles over, look for that number. 1s and 2s means it's recyclable in almost every community in America. 5s and 7s means probably not recyclable. What matters, I believe that mustards pretty much taste a lot the same. Same with ketchups. I feel I could buy a basket of French fries, put 7 ketchups on a plate, squirt little, and then you can pick which one you like. It might be more vinegary or more brown sugar or more tomatoey, but I guarantee you couldn't tell me, oh, this is Heinz, this is Hunt's, this is Del Monte. You really don't know this. Ketchups in essence are about the same product, about the same price. If it costs the same and kind of is the same, maybe the environmental shopper says, well, maybe the package matters. So I should look for a better package. That's what we're talking about today, green shopping. Sometimes the package matters as much as the product inside, especially for recyclability. Great opportunity for waste reduction here. Again, reduce, reuse, recycle is the right order. If you don't need it, why buy it? So paper towels, they're convenient, they're easy. Do we really need them in our lives? Can we not have a reusable towel? Cloth napkins, we all used to have those. These are fairly new, about 2 generations in our lives have these been around. And then these basically are killing trees for no other reason than wiping your mouth, where a cloth would work just fine for it. There are some different choices here, however. There are some environmental products here that are a little sensitive. You don't see much recycled content claims on here, even though some of them are. But you do see some that have other additional claims. Sustainable, for example. They call themselves a sustainable, affordable paper towel. Okay, let's figure out what the environmental claims are. The environmental claim here says that it's forest certified, which means that when they killed a tree to put this paper towel together, they plant another tree. So this company is being responsible, at least, even though it's made from a virgin tree, it's killing the tree to make me a thing to wipe my mouth with, at least they're being responsible. And they made sure the people they buy trees from are registered in a place that does sustainable forestry. So this product in particular is not a bad product to have because at least they're trying to plant new trees. Now, I would not go visit a new tree forest versus old growth forest. I mean, oh, look, all the trees are the same size. They're all the same species. That's not exactly my ideal vacation to go visit. But I like the fact that this company sees some responsibility. Even though they're buying the product in a perfectly safe, legal way, they see a responsibility to make sure they're planting trees for the next generation of trees for paper towels for them. Paper plates, like paper towels, do we really need them or not? Do we not have reusable dishes in our lives? Well, we probably do in our home, but maybe not on the road. How do you have a picnic and bring your plates from home and have to take them back dirty plates to wash? That's not practical. So there's a time to need a disposable plate in our life. So now, which is the best choice here? We have a lot of choices. We have a plastic plate, a styrofoam, polystyrene plate, and a paper plate. Of your choices here, paper is the best choice. Made from a renewable resource. We can always plant more trees to make more paper plates. But how much oil are we going to have? Shouldn't our oil be used to power our cars or heat our homes and not for plastic plates in our lives. So I would avoid the plastic plate if I had a choice of paper every time. But more importantly, always avoid the styrofoam plate. Styrofoam truly represents the single-use society. Everything wrong that we think about, we think, oh yes, it's a perfect idea to throw away styrofoam. It was perfect what it did. It's bright, it's white, it shows up, it floats, and it will kill birds and fish. So always avoid polystyrene if possible. If not, look for the best choice. Plastic is better than polystyrene, and paper is the better choice here overall. If you have a pet, you also know you have to feed that pet. Feed our kids, feed our pets every single day of our lives. How you feed your pet and what you feed your pet is a very personal choice. And I have to say, cats and dogs can be very picky eaters. But the containers themselves, in general cases, are hard to recycle. This container is made from 3 different metals. It's made from a steel product, an aluminum product, and another. It's really a tri-metal, which makes it almost impossible to recycle. But if your cat only likes this kind of canned food, find a different way to do this if possible. Don't buy the small can, buy the slightly larger can. Again, how many servings per amount of inches of packaging? Or can you buy even a bigger can of that? Can you convince your cat to like a product made from a reusable, a dry food that you add water to? Remember the old gravy train we had for our dogs and cats and stuff? Maybe there's a way to make your pet with a better environmental product. But of course your pet's health and diet are more important than the packaging overall. So buy the product that's good for your pet, but try to find the product in the packaging that matters also for the environment. So I love the fact that we can get dog food and cat foods in large, big bags, 40 pounds at a time. So your dog doesn't eat 40 pounds a day, I hope. So that allows you more than every single time a package, every time you open it. Every day I have waste. With the bag I don't. I have 40 pounds, one waste, one time. So try to buy the largest amount possible, but also try to find a brand that maybe comes in a better package overall than a bi-metal unrecyclable container. How nice is it to receive a card from someone wishing us a happy birthday or get well. So cards really bring joy to our lives. Of course you can make your own. You can use recycled paper. You can use a backup paper from the recycling bin to make a card. But if you are going to buy a card for someone and really wish them best wishes, shouldn't the card itself also be best wishes? So look for recycled paper. In this store, about 25% of the cards are recycled. How do you know? You look in the back of the box. You look in the back here and said they have a recycled logo on the back of the card. If you're wishing someone to get well, we want to help the planet get well by buying a card made from recycled. So this is a perfect example of a great opportunity. You're not doing anything else with this paper. Why not make it into a recycled card? So I would never send a card that was made from virgin paper. It just seems to be bad karma. Get well, I killed a tree in your honor? No, of course, I recycled it in your honor because I want you to really get well and the planet get well as well. So when you're looking for a card, always turn over and look to see, is it made from recycled material or not? Of course, they're all recyclable. All cards are recyclable in an office paper mix program, but recycled means it's been done once before already. So look for recycled logos throughout the store, especially on greeting cards. Michael Patton again. Talking about cantaloupes. There's 3 ways to buy a cantaloupe at this store and most stores in America. You can buy a full cantaloupe. You can buy a cantaloupe inside its own container like this, which is easy to handle and hold, not necessary, or you can buy fresh cut up cantaloupe. So this store does a good job of having fresh options. Which is the best way to buy cantaloupe? This is the worst way. There's a net that's absolutely no necessary, unless you have a use for this net. Maybe you can find, you're creative, find a way to put this and use this in some way. If not, try to avoid this. Buy the cantaloupes. Over here, they have just the cantaloupe and not the net. But if you're in a hurry and you don't mind buying fresh cut up produce here, they have an excellent choice here, and they do that in many different sizes. Single portions, large portions, family size. This cantaloupe is $3. It's a sugar kissed melon. The ones over there are a different brand of melon, slightly larger one for $3. The cut up one, about equivalent of one cantaloupe, is $11. At what price point are you at your convenience? I don't mind buying cut up for $11 if I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to cut it up. But if I have this choice and I have time for it, economical choice, and without the net, a good environmental choice. The thing about the produce aisle overall is it's probably the best entire area of the grocery store in terms of sustainability, because this rind from this cantaloupe and the peel from your banana or the peel from the apples or anything else you peel are all completely compostable. So why have a recycling program or a waste program when this all could become dirt in your backyard? Compost makes our homes, our yards more fertile, more abundant, and all it takes is time, and this food scraps will turn into soil magically. It's a magic trick. So I love composting my food scraps. I compost eggshells, coffee grounds, food scraps, vegetable scraps. I mix that with leaves and grass. I make great dirt. I have the best garden because I make my own dirt. The produce aisle allows you composting. If you buy the already cut up one, hopefully they'll compost in that part, but it also comes in a plastic container, which is not necessary. Every part of the produce can either be eaten or composted besides this plastic net, so avoid the net. Okay, we've had a great day of shopping. We're done. We're at the cashier. That same question we get asked all the time, paper or plastic? What's the best choice? Again, it depends what kind of person you are. So the plastic bag is actually less overall waste than the paper bag, but it's made from a non-renewable resource. It's made from oil, not from trees. However, if it's raining outside today, I wouldn't take paper bags out in the rain. I won't get my groceries all the way to the car. So maybe plastic bags on a rainy day are not a bad choice. They're also very reusable. Every plastic bag I have in my life, I've reused to pick up dog waste, all kinds of things. So they're both, I love paper bags to put, I actually fill with sticks to start my fire with them. So I can reuse paper or plastic, but truly the best choice is cloth. Your own plastic bag, so your own paper bag, your own cloth bag. A reusable bag is the best choice. We have one here from Stillwater Recycles. We also have examples of different produce bags. You can come to the store with your own. A lot of people forget these. They leave them in the car, they leave them at home, they forget that. So I've always been a proponent for, we should paint on the sidewalks in front of grocery stores. Did you remember your bags? So remind people, oh, they're in my car, to go have them and bring them back. So paper versus plastic, it's a rough question. The answer is reusable cloth every time. I've enjoyed this day. I hope you've learned something as well. So I'm Michael Patton. I want to thank Reasons here in Bixby for all their help, Oklahoma Recycling Association for this idea, and Chickasaw Nation for making it all happen. So I'm Michael Patton. Go out and be a better shopper. Thank you.